What's up, gang? It's Bet Karma Chris, Jason, and Justin Bales. We're here live on the 2-minute warning, checking in with you for our weekly NFL podcast. If you got a minute, check out our new site, betkarma.net. It's a beta site, so check it out. There's some Game Center streaming. You got a minute, sign up, and go through and you can check it out just like an ESPN app or Action Network. We're getting that going. If you see any problems, feel free to email us and let us know what's going on with it. Again, it's just testing right now, so it may not be 100% accurate, but we are getting it up and running. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be live at betkarma.com. Jumping right into it, obviously a huge break here for Denver. KC's losing their starting QB. What do you think? What do you think the possibility of him being out for the season is here, Jason or Justin?
I have honestly, I don't know. I have a very difficult time. I don't know. Processing is not the right word, but kind of when someone gets hurt, I have absolutely no clue what's happening until they sort of announce what's going on. To me, it looked awful. So at least an extended period of time. And I think the big thing is they ruled him out in less than 5 minutes. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like you have to assume that he's going to be out for a little bit, but I've seen weirder things happen. And the guy was playing with a high ankle sprain anyway. So I'm guessing his pain tolerance is pretty high. So I feel like he'll be back slightly faster than like a normal person would.
Now, do you think that's a good play, Jason, having your QB that's kind of banged up and you've been fighting it the last 3 weeks? You know, QB sneak there. Just why not just run it back or kick the field goal? What do you think?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, it's the right play. I recently read an article that the quarterback sneak from 4th and 1 with 1 yard to go is about anywhere from 15 to 20% more effective than any other play, including a fullback dive or a halfback dive up the middle. But to do it with your quarterback who has a high ankle sprain, who's playing through it, who's going to dive into a pile of 300-pound men, I'm not sure it's the best move on Andy Reid's part. It's definitely statistically the best move, but I wouldn't risk Mahomes' injury there. If anything, I'm going to play action and have him roll out and pass the ball. That way he's not really in danger of anyone landing on his leg weird. I don't think he'll be out for that long. He's walking on the sideline, and it didn't look that bad after it looked bad originally, but once he got up, he kind of sort of walked to the locker room himself. I think, 2 to 3 weeks max, and I think the Chiefs can afford to lose him for a couple weeks. Honestly, they're gonna make the playoffs, and they only need him once they get there.
Yeah, what about what New Orleans does? They bring in the backup QB to take that, put Matt Moore in there, let him get smashed, and then go back.
True.
They can $5 million. You can take a play here or two. And from what I saw, I've seen a bunch of injuries in my life. It looked like a dislocated kneecap with potentially can rip into maybe your MCL type deal. It could be 3-4 weeks. You throw a knee brace on. He can go out there and play. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't move quite the same, but he'll be effective nonetheless, because the strength is in his arm. I saw, it looked like they popped it back in place, and you see those two where they can kind of just put the that new K2 tape on and put it in place. So they're probably just taking precaution, seeing as they're up now 20-6. A defensive touchdown helps them out. Now, one thing I say about their defense is Spagnuolo, he's been getting ripped on, but when he took over for the Giants defensive coordinator, it took him probably 6 weeks to get that team playing how he wanted to play with the Giants. Because I remember, as a Giants fan, I was watching this guy's a bum, we're getting destroyed. So it looks like they're getting to the QB tonight, and they've sacked Joe Flacco a couple times and had him fumble once for a touchdown. So looking better on defense. They even stuffed them on the with a 2-point conversion. So they're getting effort. I think that they're tired of getting destroyed in the media and by everybody about how bad they are. So maybe this is coming out for them on the defensive line.
Yeah, I got the stats pulled up here. They actually have, including the Wadman sack, which technically is a sack, but isn't really like a quarterback sack. They have 6 sacks for negative 59 yards, which is like very impressive for the Chiefs defense. I know the Broncos offensive line isn't that great, but you got to give Flacco some time. Even without time, he's 12 of 15 for 160 yards. I think in the second half, they really need to shore up their, corners. Obviously, Sutton's getting wide open, and they're passing down to Sanders across the middle of the field, and then Freeman out of the backfield. The Chiefs look good. Their pass rush looks good. Their corners look atrocious.
Yeah, you just got to get to the QB before he lets it go, I guess. Justin, do you think you taking anything on the second half here with I don't know what the exact line is. I haven't checked, but you got anything pulled up for second half under or something like that?
I haven't.
Wasn't it?
What was that?
I think it was 7.5. I think right before the end of halftime, Broncos 7.5. It could be more now. I'm not sure.
Denver's getting 6 now, and then the over/under in the second half is 20.5. So
yeah, I think you can grab Denver +6. I mean,
why not?
Flacco's moving the ball. I know they got helped on their scoring drive with 2 third-down penalties, which obviously sucks. But I mean, Matt Moore has one passing yard, and but I don't know. Matt Moore is not good. I don't think he's going to move the ball, and the Broncos just need to score a little bit to get within that. So I would probably take the Broncos +6, and I already have Kansas City -3. So it gives you a big hedge space where you can cash on both bets. So I do like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Kansas City -3. I think Jason's on Denver +3. So he's hoping they can score a little points. But if you can get them at, what are they down right now? 14 plus another 6. I mean, that's a lot of points for an NFL game. So you're getting 20 points almost to cover that second half bet.
Yeah, I like the over in the second half. I think Flacco does much better. I think Kansas City's offense isn't really Mahomes dependent. I think Andy Reid does a great job of scoring, regardless of who's in there at quarterback. Obviously, Mahomes way better than Matt Moore, but you still have Shady McCoy. He's been running rather well, especially right in the beginning of the game. He had that long 20-yard run. I think they score in the second half at least once. That means the Broncos only have to score twice to hit the over.
Looking into those games this weekend, Rams going to Atlanta seems like the recipe to get back on target. You guys look into that game at all?
I haven't personally looked a ton, but Atlanta's so bad. They just look so bad. At the same time, I don't know what's up with the Rams, though. But if Ramsey's playing, I know they got rid of Peters. My big concern is that Aqib Talib's been ruled out for a while. So I think maybe Brett posted the numbers of what the Rams have done without Talib, and it is bad defensively. So then I feel like this has to be a get right spot. But at the same time, I don't know if I trust LA.
I'm not touching LA this weekend. Their offensive line is absolutely atrocious. And as far as money is concerned, 74% of the bets are coming in on the Rams, and the line actually moved in favor of Atlanta. 40% of the money and only 26% of the bets coming in on Atlanta. So the sharps are on Atlanta, and I'm going to stick with Atlanta as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Atlanta's 1-5 against the spread this year. The only game they covered was the Philadelphia game. They were terrible last week. I mean, they clawed all the way back into that Arizona game, and then the guy misses the extra point. I think they're kind of snake bit a little bit, and their coach is on the way out. I haven't decided yet, but it's like if this is the Rams have to win this game if they want to, be considered for the playoffs, because you have Seattle's kind of running away, and San Francisco in that division's run away, and you have some other teams in the mix for wild card spots. So if they're going to win and they're going to make another run, it's got to be this week. And it just could be a Super Bowl hangover from losing last year, and a lot of those teams don't go back to the playoffs. So this is probably make or break for them. Looking at Houston continues to kind of get get points each week. It seems like they're getting points last week at Kansas City. They were getting points the week before. against San Diego Chargers. And they're getting points this weekend at +1 against Indy. Now, there's a stat since 2013 after bye, the home teams are 40, 65, and 5 against the spread. So, of those teams, I think you're looking at Buffalo, Indy, and Chicago are home. So you're talking maybe 2 of those teams might lose if you follow the stats. 1.5 teams. So I think Houston's playing really well. Indy's coming back from a horrendous loss against the Raiders, and then they crushed Kansas City. 2 weeks off. Where do you guys see this game?
Go ahead, Jason.
Well, I think this game's set exactly where it should be. I think Vegas did a great job of setting this line. This is basically a coin flip game for me. I don't really like the idea of picking every spread every week. Obviously, you should only be playing games that you think there's an edge on. I don't think there's an edge either way. If I had to pick a team, I'm taking Indy -1, but I could easily see Houston covering the +1. Sorry about that. My dad just got home, and my dogs are going crazy.
I'm on board with Jason. This isn't a game that I would be looking to target personally. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a letdown spot for Houston after coming off of the Chiefs game, but I'm not honestly sure. You're going to have to check back because I'm not going to decide this game until late in the week.
Absolutely. Now you're getting what about Detroit? Home +1.5. Got hosed last week. Everybody's complaining about the referees in that game. Can they move past that and then get up for a Minnesota team coming in that just had their best offensive week in a month?
I've been touting Detroit all season long. I think they're way better than people are giving them credit for. I know the money, 71% of the money is coming in on Minnesota, 64% of the bets, so 36% of bets, 29% of money on Detroit. Lead you to believe that perhaps Minnesota is the better pick, though I've been team fade the public since the beginning of the season. And again, I think Vegas is disrespecting Detroit. I don't think this game's a pick 'em. I think Detroit at home is probably a -3 favorite over Minnesota, and I'll take them all the way up to -3. They're +1.5 right now.
My thing is I'm waiting on this game because of how many players are questionable. I mean, you got Robinson, Daniels, Quadra Diggs, Riley Reif, Darius Slay, all questionable, along with some other people. So I feel like I'm going to wait a little bit, see where I believe or see what's happening in practice, who's going to play, who could be limited or whatnot, because that is a odd amount of players that may not play. And in such a close game, I think I'm just going to have to wait and see on that end before I take who I want in that.
And then we got Oakland going to Green Bay. Was -7. The line's already moved to -5.5. So it's coming down. I'm hoping it bounces back up to 6 before we have to make picks here. Like Oakland in this spot, coming off that bye, they're one of the top 5 team against the rush defensively, and it seems like Green Bay is really trying to establish the run to lead to their play action pass. But I think Oakland has the defense that can stop their run attack, and then maybe we'll get to see Aaron Rodgers throw it a little bit more. But I think, if you can get them at 6, if you got them early at 7, I think that's, big odds for a solid Oakland team fresh off a bye.
Yeah, this is another one Justin just mentioned, odd amount of injuries. Do we know yet who's playing at wide receiver for the Packers? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good, but he can't just throw to anybody, right? If Geronimo Allison and Devontae Adams are out of this game, I don't see how Oakland can't at least cover 7. I don't know, about 5.5 is pushing it. That's actually pretty close to where I would have this game. If it moves back in favor of Green Bay at all, then I would be betting Oakland.
Call me a homer, but I'll probably take Green Bay in this. I understand it. I understand the Oakland side, but Green Bay is probably not thrilled with what everyone's saying about them, especially since everyone's calling them like the refs' favorite team, but they got screwed in their loss against the Eagles. it's not really here nor there. If you watch the games, it happens to multiple teams every week. Everyone's just kind of saying it because it happened on Monday night. I get it. It sucks. But if you also look at it, Green Bay didn't cover in that game because Jamal Williams didn't want to score a touchdown.
Come on, just run that ball in. That would
right?
Yep.
So, I mean, when you look at it, it's not that many points. Realistically, Green Bay is the better team. Now, if multiple guys miss this game, yeah, I'll probably move over to Oakland. I don't think Green Bay can win if, like, I know Kenny Clark's dealing with a small injury. Say he misses, Devontae Adams, like their whole offense has to change in that, and Clark's a huge part of their defense. So it's kind of odd, but I feel like this week has more injuries than basically all the other weeks combined. Like it's really weird at this point to try to predict like who's going to play and who's going to sit at the moment.
Yeah. Wait for all those things to come out.
A big contract in Oakland too. They just locked up their tight end for 5 years?
Yeah.
Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Better start balling out. Now you got Buffalo at home with Miami coming. I'm assuming Fitzpatrick's getting that start. I mean,
he is.
So that's a lot of points for an offense that doesn't really do a ton. But their defense is legit. So I don't think Fitzmagic's going to go up there and have a great weekend. And I know he was a fan favorite up there. But Buffalo is no joke when it comes to tailgating before the game and then being fired up for the game. I have no idea where I'm going yet on that one. Just 17 points against Buffalo that just doesn't score a ton. I know they covered early. I think it was a 10-point spread against the Jets, and they covered that. But I have no idea yet. Obviously, it wouldn't be something I would be wagering on this weekend. I don't have an edge on that one. But for a pick 'em yet, I don't know yet. I've been betting on Buffalo a ton. I liked them beginning of the season. So if I have to pick, I'll probably take Buffalo and just hope that they smash them and get a couple defensive touchdowns. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, the way Buffalo plays, I don't know if I can give them or I can take 17 points with them. They just play so. I don't know. They're not explosive. Can they hit the big plays? Yeah, they can, but they don't often. They're going to ride Frank Gore. The only thing that kind of has me potentially leading towards Buffalo is that Devin Singletary is expected to play. If he's playing, he's a big play threat, and we know that Miami's run defense is bad. So unlike Gore, who's going to get 4, 5, 4, you know what I mean? Singletary could break like 20, 30, just the long runs, even if they go for touchdowns. So 17 points is a lot for Buffalo, but I'm flipping back and forth. I'm also very, very pissed at Miami for that backdoor cover last week. I mean, it happened in multiple games. Yeah, like Cincinnati did it. It was a bad week, honestly.
I need Buffalo to win. I got them at over 7 for a chunk of change. So they're looking solid. Just you got to win. You still got 2 Miami games left. So need them to win this weekend and keep trucking so I could cash that ticket early in the season. Would be nice to have that cash by the end of October would be great. And then last game I was kind of looking at the game starting back up here. Kansas City just picked up a big first down on 3rd and 7 going in. Arizona coming to the Giants. Giants are favored by 3. I'm leaning towards Arizona at this point. I think Giants defense is bad, and they're really bad against quarterbacks that can pick up first downs with their legs. So I expect Arizona to be in the game, and they may not win, but I think they're going to cover the 3. They'll probably just win outright. I think the Giants are just kind of a mediocre team, and Arizona has some parts, and they're kind of running a little bit. They're playing some decent defense and going against a weaker opponent in the Giants. I think they can score some points.
Yeah, this is a perfect segue. My dad's a Giants fan. I just wanted to mention that right now he just changed the Yankees game to the start of the second half of the Chiefs game, and I just can't believe that adult men with functioning brains are watching Thursday night football over playoff baseball. It absolutely blows me. If anything,
he says it on a podcast made for football.
If anything, be watching both at the same time. That's what I'm doing. I can't wait to put the Yankees on my computer screen here so my dad can watch this football game. But let's talk about the Giants. The Giants are negative 3-point favorites at home, which actually technically means they're about a half-point underdog on a neutral field against the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think that's true. I think the Giants win this game, and I think they cover the 3-point spread as well.
There you go.
I'm probably on that too, but I think it depends. Right now, it looks like Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley are going to play. If you have the best wide receiver in the NFL, Sterling Shepard, also play in this game. I know he's dealing with the concussion, but I mean, I've been saying Sterling Shepard is number one receiver in entire NFL for years now. Okay. And part of me is joking. Part of me just thinks Sterling Shepard is very good. I think it just adds another dimension. But I do think that they have enough, probably, even if he doesn't play, to pick up the win by a little bit more than 3. So I will probably lean New York Giants myself.
Yeah, I'd like to see if Barkley comes back and you get Ingram. Obviously, tight ends have been killing Arizona Cardinals. So if he's definitely playing, it kind of swings it a little bit. But, we'll see. And I haven't watched any playoff baseball at all because it doesn't interest me. I do like the MLB during the season because there's so many games going on. There's a lot of things you can do, but the playoffs, it doesn't do anything for me. I'd rather watch football.
Unbelievable, really. Unbelievable.
Hey.
I really hope that the Broncos cover that +3 so that I'm first place, because to have someone from Bet Karma be first place and think that a Thursday night football game between Denver and whoever the hell they're playing is better than a Yankees playoff game is.
Stop saying Yankees like they're. Oh my God, get out of here! When Houston wins the World Series, it's
New York or bust.
Over. Houston all day. All right,
that's a wrap. Well, check us out. Please check out betkarma.net. Sign up and check out our game center and let us know any of the features aren't working or anything you do like. We'll catch you guys next week. I think Justin, myself, and Brad will be jumping on a college football cast tomorrow. I've been red hot on college football the last 2 weekends. Hope to continue that, and we'll see you soon.